What's up, y'all? It's your boy BioSpider 3.0 back with another Mcfarlane Toys review. Today we have a look at the DC Multiverse, the Batman Catwoman. Yes, this is the Catwoman figure based off of the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson. Very excited. This is the gold label edition. There's three different versions, as far as I know, of this figure. The first one they did had like the mask fully down over her head, and like covering her mouth, which wasn't movie accurate. And then they did a second release that had her mask like up on her forehead, and that one looked okay, but I think the likeness could have been better for Zoe Kravitz. So I didn't really want to get that one either. And then they came out with this gold label edition, which is the most movie accurate, as you'll see when I get her out the package. But yeah, the mask basically is right where it's supposed to be. It shows like her mouth and her lower bottom part of her face, like her jaw and everything. And yeah, and the suit, of course. So yeah, here we got a look at her in the package, looking dope. This side we got Catwoman, the Batman. Pretty much same thing on the other side. And the back we got a nice picture of the trading card art that you'll see when I get the trading card out of the box. And it's got shows you all the figures that you can collect from the movie. Um, Pretty small writing. It's hard to see who's down there, but this is the Batman right here. Next to him looks like the Penguin figure right here. And then we have the Riddler. And then last but not least, we have the Bat Cycle. So I'm going to crack this open and we're going to get straight into it. So let's go. All right. Second Mcfarlane Toys review. So I am very excited, as you probably already know. Like I said, I was going to get into Mcfarlane Toys more. I got this figure probably like over a month ago now. She's been, sitting in my room in the box. So, nice to finally get her out and get this review going. All right, so let's see if I can get her in a nice standing position here. And I'm hoping she's going to have an easier time balancing than Black Adam, because, you guys saw from that Black Adam review, he is a very difficult figure to get to stand up. Even with his stand, I had him on his stand yesterday and he still kept falling over, so that was a little frustrating, but it is what it is. But with her being a much lighter figure, hopefully she won't have any problems standing up, but here she is. Let's see if I can get her in a standing pose. Okay, there we go. See? Off the bat, a lot easier than than Black Adam. So there she is. Let's get a little focus. All right, there we go. Let's get her accessories out. Get this tape off. All right. So got the whip out of there. Coolio. And let's get, of course, her trading card and display stand. All right, here we go. So hopefully, now that I know how to open these things, they come out a lot faster. So there's the trading card. And for the display stand. Okay, there we go. All right. So now that you've had a quick look at her, let's slide her aside for just a sec. Can she stand? Let's put her right here. All right, and here is her collector's / trading card, which I believe has the same art as the back of the box. So that's looking pretty cool. She's like hanging from a, looks like a hotel sign, like a neon sign right there. She's got her whip rolled up, so that's pretty cool. Very nice, and I like the silver outline on this one, with it being the gold edition. I think that's the reason it has the silver border, so that's pretty cool. And of course, on the back we have her bio. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause right now. Get a little focus on that. There you go. Go ahead and pause it if you want to read that. There you go. And of course, she comes with her standard DC black display stand with the one peg on it, as you know, very common for Mcfarlane toys. So there you go. Not much to see there. And then you have her whip, which looks pretty cool. It's got some nice detail in it, nice sculpted detail. You know, all like the little rivets going in between through like each little section. So that's pretty cool. It's got a little peg right here, like a peg-shaped piece. And then the whip, you know, comes all the way up, curves around into like almost like a little loop, and then has this little piece on the end. So that's pretty cool. So she can wield that. So that's dope. Now let's take a closer look at Catwoman herself, shall we? Yes, we shall. And she looks pretty freaking good. This I decided to go with this particular version just because I felt like out of all the three that were released, this one had the best likeness to Zoe Kravitz, which is ironic because you know they had like a masked up version, and I just felt like they didn't really capture the likeness of her face all that well. So yeah, this is the one I decided to go with. But yeah, she looks really really nice. So let's get into articulation, or play and display, as I like to say. So for the shoulders, looks like we're on a standard ball and hinge. So she can raise her arm that high, which is better than 90, a lot better than 90. I like that a whole bunch. She does kind of have like a little bit of like a lump thing going when you do that, the way they, you know, sculpted the ball joint, but it's not bad. Doesn't look too bad. Get it back down by her size. Of course, she gets full rotation in the arms all the way around. We get a very, very nice cut for the bicep swivel because it's very, you know, well hidden into that seam. Hopefully you guys can see that. She does have a nice bicep swivel in there for rotation, so that's good. Double jointed elbows. Wow, she gets some really, really good bend. Wow. I can't remember. I think that's even better than the Go Rider bend. I think there was like one other character in my collection that had a bend this good. So that's crazy. Like she can literally bend all the way back and like touch her like her shoulder. That's almost like a contortionist level of bend. So that's crazy. That's really dope. And she is a flexible character, so that goes great. Let's see, for the wrist, we do have, let's see. Okay, yeah. Actually from the fist and like this little cuff part going around her fist. I don't know how well you guys can see that. It actually, that whole piece actually does get full rotation. So that's pretty cool. And then of course she has a hinge in the hands, horizontal hinge, so she can bend left to right, get the fist going in and out. So that's cool. So that's dope. Let's see, for torso articulation, she does have a nice cut in the torso, just below the boobies, right? So she can get some rotation in there. That's looking good. Very, very nice rotation side to side. She can bend forward, probably like a ball joint in there. She can bend forward about that much. Pretty decent bend. And then going back. Oh yeah, oh yeah, I like that. Very flexible. She gets a very nice arch in her back. Who doesn't like that, right? So very, very good. Bringing it back. Let's see here. She does have a little bit of a butterfly joint too, so that's interesting for the arms. So she can kind of get the arms moving forward and back with a little extra range. Got a nice, very nice, well hidden cut for that butterfly joint, so that's dope. Very nice, good range going there. For the legs, she can kick up that far, and the skirt piece is actually like a pretty soft plastic, so it flexes. That looks really really good. So she can kick up. If you really really push it and like flex that piece, she can get a really nice, you know, high kick. So that's really really good. A little better than 90. Going backwards, you know, it's also the plastic right here is also kind of soft, like where, you know, her ass is. So if you really push it, you can get about that much going backwards. So that's really good. Loving that. That flexibility is very, you know, standard for Catwoman, so that's very good. Glad that they let that design go into this figure. Out to the side, she can pretty much do the splits. Yep, very, very nice splits. Look at that. When's the last time you've seen a Marvel legend get that level of splits? Man, we could probably you probably can't even remember, right? It's been that long. Man, that's amazing. If only, Spider-Man figures got this level of flexibility, that would be so nice, but Hasbro never gives us that these days. Then we have double jointed knees that allow her to bend back all the way, basically to kicking her back, so that's dope. Coming back down, we have pretty pretty big balls for the ankles. That's not the best design as far as aesthetics go, but let's see the range it gives her. Let's see, does she have any? She can kind of swivel a little bit, on that ankle ball joint. Like she gets a little bit of pivot in there, and then as far as kicking up, she can go up that far on that ball, and then kicking down and just back very far. So you get a lot, get her on her tippy toes. So that's dope. Very, very nice. Like she's a ballet dancer, right? And then kicking up for the toe joint. The toe joint can bend all the way up and then back down flat again. So that's good. Very, very nice patch of articulation. She doesn't have like a cut for a thigh swivel, but very similar to Black Adam. You can kind of like swivel it around at the top inside of that joint. And this is kind of like if you want to see the internal part of her legs, see the internal engineering. It's a very interesting joint in there. Never quite seen actually a joint that looks like that. It almost looks like there's like a this reminds me of like a almost like a backpack like belt piece. The little pieces that like snap together. Kind of reminds me of that. But it seems like it's on like kind of like a ratcheting type of thing that swings out. So that's good. I don't know exactly how they designed that, but it seems to get her a lot of range. So that's very, very good. I'm liking that. Liking that a whole bunch. All right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the articulation. Let's see, does she get an extra swivel in the waist? No, okay, yeah, so it's just that top joint. Like I thought. All right, so cool. Pretty good play and display for her, so I'm liking that a whole bunch. So here's a closer look at her again, and very, very nicely detailed again, as you would imagine. This is Mcfarlane Toys, and they always do a great job with detail and sculpt, so I really appreciate that in a figure. And yeah, her suit looks amazing. It's got like a very nice textured feel, like right here in her chest. It's almost like a leathery type of texture. So that's really cool. You got like different levels of, you got like the gray right here for her, her crotch piece basically. It's like a gray color. And then you got black, going down, of course. The sculpted line work, you got some more of like that leathery texture going down the side. It's kind of smoother actually here than on her chest, but still very cool. You can see all that, sculpted detail. Very, very nice. I think they captured the movie suit very, very well. And I really did enjoy this movie, man. The Batman. With Robert Pattinson, I was I was a little judgmental in the beginning. I was like, oh, I don't know how well he's gonna, portray the role, but I actually ended up really, really liking the movie. The darkness of it, and it just reminded me of the Arkham games a lot. And I don't even have the Arkham games. Actually, I do have one. But I haven't finished it. But yeah, just like the whole vibe of the movie definitely reminded me of those games. So that was really cool to see, kind of like a detective style Batman, and young, making mistakes and all that. Not quite in his prime yet, but yeah, very, very cool. So here's a look at the back. And again, you can see she's got all that texture and stuff continued all the way throughout her suit. Very, very nice into the boots. Kind of like semi-gloss for things like her handcuffs and everything. I call them handcuffs. they're not actual handcuffs, but these little cuff pieces that go around like her wrist, kind of like slightly shinier than the rest of her suit. But yeah, it's like mostly a matte finish for her suit, which looks really, really nice. And then just look at that head sculpt. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Doesn't that look like Zoe Kravitz? I think it does. I think it does. Definitely out of like the three releases, I think this one has like the best head sculpt by far. And it's movie accurate. You can see all the detail into her, like, her mask or little beanie thing. And I like, the pointed, like, little points at the top look like cat ears. That's really, really dope. Love the paint for her eyes, her lips. Oh yeah, man, this looks dope. Loving it. Loving it, loving it. I like the flesh tone. Very, very good. Oh yeah, I forgot head articulation, didn't I? Huh? It's like the most important thing. So head articulation. Thinking she's on a ball peg so she can look up about that high. Just focus on that. She can look up about that high. That's good. Looking down very nicely. She can tuck her chin in, so that's really good. Does she get any say what? Little attitude? Yes, she does. So that's very nice. Nice little pivoting in there. And of course, let's see. She can rotate all the way around. So that's very, very nice. Very nice range. So yeah, overall, great figure. Loving it. I think it does exactly what it needs to as far as like likeness, articulation. She's probably like the most flexible figure that I've held in a while. So that's really dope. Really, really like that they gave her that flexibility, and I think she's gonna look great in any Batman display for sure. All right, so let's see if we can get her in a quick dynamic pose. Matter of fact, I'll measure her out first, then we'll get her in a cool pose, get some size comparisons, and head on out. So this Catwoman is going to be standing at about, she looks to be about 6.5 inches, so that's pretty good. Mcfarlane Toys, I think that's pretty good. As a matter of fact, I think she's going to actually scale with a lot of Marvel Legends pretty well too. So that's going to be, I'm excited to see how that looks in the size comparisons. I'll go ahead and put her whip in her hand. See if we can get her in a nice, cool cat pose real quick. Okay, her whip is a little bit loose. She holds it in her right hand. It does kind of have like a loose fit, but she can like hold on to it. Okay, yeah, now it's sliding. Maybe if you put like, yeah, it's a little bit of a loose fit. They probably could have sculpted her hand a little bit tighter, but if she holds it at like the very end on that like top piece that's like a little bit thicker, then I guess it's a little easier for her to hold. Okay, there we go. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get her in a cool dynamic pose here. Okay. Let's see if she can stand. Okay, yeah, there you go. Something kind of simple. Nothing crazy, but see, tweak the feet just a little bit. Get her standing. Let's see, there you go. Turns the camera a little bit. Boom. There you have it. Zoe Kravitz, the Catwoman from the Batman. She looks dope, man. I like it. She's got her whip. See if you can see the whole whip on camera. So you can see how she looks and back her up a little bit. Look at that. That is really cool. I'm loving it. Loving it, loving it. So let's jump into size comparisons and head on out. Alrighty. So let's get her, make sure she's standing up back here. Alrighty, Miss Zoe Kravitz. Let's see. Get you standing here. There you go. Show your head. She does kind of have that side eye thing, which Mcfarlane Toys tends to do a lot, and I'm not a big fan of that, which is why I didn't get the Batman figure from this line. But I'm actually waiting on the Mafex release for the Batman, but yeah, I don't mind it so much on her just because she's Catwoman, and I could definitely see like the whole side eye thing is kind of like, I feel like it goes with her personality. So, I think it definitely works for her. So I didn't mind it as much on this figure. But here she is next to Reva the Third Sister from Star Wars Black Series by Hasbro. And you can see she's just a little bit taller than Reva. So they actually scaled pretty well. And I am looking through the camera this time to make sure that my descriptions are accurate. So yeah, she's just slightly taller than Reva, so I like that. That looks really, really good. Here she is next to the Mattel Dark Knight Batman, even though it's actually based on the Batman Begins look, but there you go. She's got a good amount of height over him. She's like, yeah, she's a little bit taller than him, but there you go. Here she is with Claire Temple from the Netflix Luke Cage series. Marvel Legends Claire Temple. There you go. Hopefully, let's see, slide the camera over just a bit. So there you go. Very, very nice. They're almost the same height, to be honest. Yeah. She's only like slightly taller than her, so there you go. And here she is next to the MCU The Wasp from Ant-Man and the Wasp. Slide this over just a bit. So there you go. That's looking nice. She's just a little bit taller than her, so that's nice. Let's get her next to a Lightning Collection Blue Ranger, Blue Dino Thunder Ranger, that is. Tricera Power, so that looks good. She's a little bit, just like barely taller than him to the top, so that's really good. She's scaling with these Marvel Legends and Black Series very well. Here she is with Count Dooku. I've had Count in this pose for literally since I did the review, but you can get a sense of that. I think he actually might be, let's see here. Actually, yeah, she's a little bit taller than him, I think. From the camera angle, it doesn't really look like it, but as I'm looking, from the side, I don't know. It's hard to say. They're like almost the same height, so you can see by the camera. That should give you a good idea how they scale. Here she is with the Snake Eyes Origin Snake Eyes. He's kind of leaning a little bit, but you can get the idea how they look together. So that's looking really, really good. She's just a little bit taller. And let's get her next to Black Adam, who won't seem to stay on his stand. And I'm going to have to hold him up because he keeps flopping all over the place. But here she is with the recently reviewed Black Adam with the cloak. And yeah, he's got a significant amount of height over her. And in the camera, he looks huge. He looks like he's like towering over her. But like in real life, it doesn't seem like he's that much bigger. He's like about like a full head taller, like head and shoulders taller than her. But yeah, there you go. So there it is, guys. That's my review on the Mcfarlane DC Multiverse Catwoman from the Batman. And this is the gold label edition, so it tends to be a little bit more rare and a little more pricey than like the normal Mcfarlane figures. I think she usually this gold label probably goes for about like 30 to 35, sometimes 40. I remember seeing her at Frankenson's and they were selling her for 40, and I was like, I think that's a little bit much. So I passed on her that day, but I did end up picking her up on Mercari. So yeah, there's that. And I think I probably paid, like I said, around like 30 or 35. So yeah, I would say that's, worth it for this figure with her being like a special edition. So yeah, very, very nice figure. I'm impressed, man. Like the detail and everything, the sculpt, articulation was very, very nice. I mean, Mcfarlane Toys continues to impress me, so I'm loving it. So that's my review, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you're new, be sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, and let me know what you think of this figure and what you thought of the Batman movie if you've seen it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. This is your boy BioSpider 3.0 signing off. See you in the next review. Peace.